Hello there everybody, Binocle here, and today I want to talk about a subject that not many players take too much note of nowadays, and that's different ways of helping your fellow engineer friends. And today's method that I'll be talking about is Pybros. If you're not sure what a Pybro is, a Pybro, a mixture of the words pyro and bro, is a pyro player that assists the engineer in keeping their buildings alive from opposing enemies such as Ubered players, soldiers, demomen, heavies, and most importantly, spies. Yes, as much as engineers can handle their own and being strong and independent, along with assistance from a couple of teammates passing by every now and again, there are plenty of things that a pyro can do to keep those defenses up. Now, while the pyro is labelled as an attack class, he's equipped mainly to help stop enemy forces from advancing rather than being a strong offense with his flamethrowers. What I mean by that, of course, is his spy checking abilities. If some of you didn't know, when a spy is disguised as a teammate, you can check them by shooting flames at them. If they don't combust, then they're on your side. However, if they do, then they're an enemy, and it's up to you and the others around you that take notice to take him out ASAP. This is especially useful when spies are lurking around your base when they're invisible, as you can find them hiding out in corners and other areas by checking with your flamethrower by spraying flames everywhere. I also forgot to mention you can airblast people too, so if people get pushed back then they're a spy. It's just a lot of small details you have to look out for, like when a friendly pyro is on fire. Because that's not possible, you'll instantly know he's not actually friendly. This may be obvious to a lot of you, but I can't tell you the amount of times I've been set alight by pyros when sneaking around a spy, and they haven't realised I'm an enemy. Hey, I'm looking out for you newer guys, alright? Don't make those simple mistakes, it'll save your team. So, when would this be useful? Well, there are plenty of times in a match where an Ubered soldier or demoman roll up to an engineer's buildings, and the engineer needs to concentrate on keeping the buildings alive. Since they'll be focused on the sentry, that will leave an opportunity open for enemy spies to backstab them, and let the other Ubered players take the defences down. Now, as a pyro, you can do a couple of things in this situation. The most obvious one will be checking out for spies by firing flames behind the engineer, so that the chances of spies taking him down will be minimised, while he can focus on making sure he can keep his sentry up and running against the other enemies. Another option is to try and reflect the projectiles away. This can be very tricky, however, and I don't really recommend it, as while you have limited ammo and chances of reflecting, they don't have to worry due to them being invincible and you still being squishy and explodable. All they have to do is spam enough projectiles and you'll be taken down, and if you miss enough then they'll make it even easier, alongside the engineer and his buildings. So that means the next best option will be to suppress the attack by trying to extract the medic away from the other player, making the other player vulnerable. Keeping them away from each other for long enough will allow the sentry to take out the attacker without allowing the medic to be able to help them at all, and letting the Uber charge drain. Of course, this restricts pyros to solely being defensive when he could be out on the battlements attacking people from behind, or attacking the enemy team due to him being, well, an attack class. So the tactics here are only really recommended for modes such as payload while on defense, and capture the flag. However, what if your engineer has been taken down having been backstabbed by a spy? They can't exactly do anything while they're waiting about 20 seconds to respawn while all of their buildings are being taken down with a sapper. Well, this is where I introduced the Home Wrecker. This beautiful melee weapon is able to remove sappers with just a single hit, making it the ultimate Pybro utility. Engineers will absolutely love you for saving their buildings, as keeping them up for a couple of seconds longer could easily change the tide of the battle, even if it's just by a little bit. Of course, that being said, the spy should still be the most important target out of the two. Just because you have the power of the wrench as a pyro does not mean that the spy can't keep attaching sappers onto the sentry, basically making the Home Wrecker worthless. This means that you should make sure the spy is either dead or running away back to friends like a schoolgirl before turning your attention to the sentry. The Home Wrecker is also a great weapon to use against enemy sentries, as pyros aren't exactly the greatest class to use on enemy defences with his flamethrower. It allows you to do 130 damage to enemies' buildings instead of the regular 65 damage from melee weapons. What about that minus 25% damage penalty? Well, luckily that's only against players, so you don't have to worry about that negative against buildings. So, my final words on this subject is that you shouldn't underestimate a pyro carrying the Home Wrecker around the battlefield. The power that they hold in their hands is undoubtedly great for both pyro and engineers, and should make the spies shaking their pants more than it does already. Pyro shouldn't be embarrassed or held back just because they're classified as an attack class. The tools Pyro have are great for multiple uses other than just WM1ing against enemies. While a lot of people criticise the Pyro for being slightly good at a lot of things rather than really good at one thing like scouts, soldiers and the rest of the competitive classes, I believe that's what makes the Pyro unique, due to him being able to do whatever he wants really. So that's been my thoughts on the Pybros subclass and how I believe it's quite important for a team's defense. Let me know what you think on Pyro's abilities in keeping defenses up and the other capabilities the class has, even though it can't do it as well as others. If you want other trash pyro videos, subscribe for future videos, and also like and share with others that you think would enjoy this, and join the Flare Club today. This has been Binocular, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.